Hello, everyone. My name is PD, and I'm here to answer the question today. Is STAYC's ASAP bad? Wop, 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 wop. Welcome back to Form of Therapy and to the Culture Study. I'm the channel's video producer and your host. You can call me PD. Thanks for tuning in. Today, we do not have a reaction because my initial reaction to STAYC's ASAP, I watched it and, well, frankly, my reaction was just this. Just a blank stare, nothing. I watched all of STAYC's ASAP, but even after watching all of it, I did not understand what I had watched. Before going into it, and even after, a handful of people were telling me that I would not like it. A lot of people were saying that it was straight up bad. And there are a handful of people who also think it's brilliant. They love it. And I understand actually both sides of the argument. So I am here to kind of answer the question, is STAYC's ASAP bad? Now, upon first listen, I will say I was definitely thrown off and I was definitely confused because it plays with, I think, what we have come to expect as usual, typical K-pop song structure. K-pop song structure works very simply. It almost treats us as if we're children. They make each section so very known and notable and loud and vibrant and colorful. The way one K-pop producer described it to me once is the vibrancy that is a chorus, the addictiveness and the catchiness of a chorus that is most standard pop songs. K-pop is that, but for every section of the song. The intro, the verse, the pre-chorus, the chorus, especially catchy pre-choruses, really well-developed pre-choruses. Those are things that are very unique to K-pop. So what threw me off about STAYC's was, well, I was like, what the heck? Where's their pre-chorus? You know, it felt like they didn't have a pre-chorus. And it's because their pre-chorus doesn't really sound like a pre-chorus. It doesn't have your usual build-up. Usually between a song from the verse to the pre-chorus, in a K-pop song production, they make the transition much more obvious. In this one, everything about it feels like it's an extension of the first verse, like it's just continuing. Upon my second listen, I realized, oh, there's that little build-up at the end. Oh, that's supposed to signify that it is the drop, but it's a very small drop. Then that part that goes ASAP na 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 na. Now, when I was on my first listen, I thought that part was the pre-chorus. The way it builds up, it's a great pre-chorus, but turns out it's not a pre-chorus. That actually was the chorus. And then that part you get that ASAP, and then like that just the random bouncing bubbly sounds, the wop 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 wop. Do not meme that. Wop, 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 wop. That sound is actually the post-chorus. Upon first listen, I thought it was the reverse. I thought that chorus section was the pre-chorus, and then that little wop, 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 wop. I thought that was the chorus, but it's not. I feel like we need to start having the discussion of what defines a K-pop generation. I was on a live stream once recently, and there's actually some weird debate about what generation we're in. First of all, I thought it was very, very obvious that STAYC is 5th gen. STAYC is very hard 5th gen. But some people were even saying we're still in 3rd gen. And I'm like, whoa, I don't think people understand how generations work. And I realized I don't understand how generations work, and I don't think anyone really does. How does one really define a K-pop generation? I think K-pop generations are defined by when there is a drastic change in what defines the that generation of music or that generation of K-pop and how K-pop is produced. So third gen, I felt like had a very heavy focus on a lot more kaeryumu and knife cut choreography, and then fourth gen, much more creative choreography and also a lot more self-producing idols. And I feel like fifth gen, how do we define fifth gen going forward? I feel like STAYC's ASAP is the very definition of it. STAYC's ASAP, while audibly may sound different, music video wise, I feel like it's kind of just a visual representation of something we've seen before, which is kind of like, I feel like it's a little lower budget version of like Weekly's After School. And I realize now fifth gen is best described by music that is very marketable on TikTok. I think that's kind of how I see it. That's probably not a good, accurate representation. I feel like playing with minimal beats, playing with conventional song structure is becoming sort of like the norm. I would liken STAYC's ASAP. The vibe of it sounds very familiar to something like Blackpink's Ice Cream. We've heard this kind of sound before. I think this one, the structure was just a little bit unconventional. And I think if people don't like it, that's fine. And I can understand people's reservations. This is not your usual K-pop. And I think this is going to be the future of K-pop. If you listen to K-pop, if you listen to second gen, third gen, fourth gen, K-pop has become wildly, drastically different, and it goes through phases and it evolves. And I think we're entering fifth gen territory, and we do have to come to kind of acceptance with that. And so I listened to STAYC's ASAP. I listened to it again and again and again. And honestly, by like the fourth listen, I'm not completely 100% sold on it, but I understand it. It doesn't play out like your usual K-pop song. And I think we're going to look back on this moment several years later and we're going to realize, holy crap, STAYC's ASAP was actually progressive, really ahead of its time, and a banger. STAYC's ASAP is going to be the song, this style is going to be the song that influences K-pop for the next few years to come. This is going to be this style of K-pop music. And I like it. It has that kind of like bouncy, cute vibe that Blackpink's Ice Cream had, but it's a little bit more K-pop. And I think this is what fifth gen K-pop is going to be a little bit more like. I wouldn't say I'm addicted to it, but it is stuck in my head. Okay, I guess that is the definition of being addicted to it. But really, STAYC's ASAP is actually really great. It's really progressive. I think not everyone is going to like it, but I'm going to tell you what. I think, seriously, give it the next year or two. This is what K-pop music in large part is going to sort of transform into. Not everyone's going to do it, and that's the beauty of K-pop. You know, not everyone does the same thing. There are people who kind of bandwagon, and there is a mainstream culture to music, but if you don't like it, someone else is going to do something else. But for me, I love it. And here's the thing. I got to answer the question. Is STAYC's ASAP bad? And the answer to that, regardless of whether I like it or not, is no. There are some genuinely bad songs out there. But this case, if you do not like this song, there are some people, a lot of people told me that this song was bad. This song is not bad. Just because we may not like it, you may not like it, a song is not bad just because you don't like it. You have to still maintain objectivity when you look at something like this. And is it a jarring change of pace for a K-pop song? Absolutely. It's hard to get used to. But if you can get used to it, it's quite brilliant and it's quite addictive and it's genuinely really good. Anyways, guys, that's my review for STAYC's ASAP. I wasn't going to release this review. I didn't like my reaction for this video, so initially I wasn't just going to post anything. But same like with Astros 1, just a lot of people have been spamming about it, and I don't like spam on this channel, and I feel like no matter how much I ask people not to spam, it's just gonna happen. And so rather than fight the inevitable, it's just like, well, I just gotta do it. I just gotta do it and get it over with, and boom, I solved the spam problem. So I hope you guys enjoyed my review to STAYC's ASAP. Going forward, I might do more of these. Not everything is going to warrant a reaction, and not everything there are just some things where my first reaction is not my ultimate opinion on it. And if I had released my first reaction on STAYC's ASAP, it would be that I don't like this. You know, it would have been that I don't like this. But sometimes music, give it a day or two and it changes, you know? Rosé's Gone, like Rosé's Gone really inspired this move for me, because Rosé's Gone, I liked it just fine. I didn't hate it, but I was like, oh yeah, I like it. I was surprised how much I like it, but I like it. But then just a few days later, I was addicted to Rosé's Gone. And that's kind of how music works. Music is not a one-time viewing experience. It is a multiple listening experience. And I almost feel like I enjoy my first reactions, but I almost feel like it is not respectable enough to the full art form. You know, it doesn't get a full gauge of it. So, you know, if I'm not satisfied with my first reactions, I'm not really gonna force it out. But if it does warrant a review, I'll post a review every now and then. Anyways, I hope you guys liked it. If you guys would like to support the channel, please consider visiting our Patreon. We do live reactions, we do variety reactions, we do reality show reactions. We have a lot of bonus content on there. We also did check out STAYC's live, so if STAYC live on our stream. So if you do want to see that, if you really want to see my reaction to STAYC's ASAP, it is on our Patreon. But this is not a good advertisement for my Patreon, but my STAYC ASAP reaction is literally nothing, and it's really not worth it. So I would say don't sign up for my Patreon if like that's the only, like, if you like, oh, I really want to see the reaction. Trust me, it's not worth it. But if you want to see a bunch of other stuff, it is worth it. But I'm just adding that it is also on there. But guys, if you don't want to support us monetarily, that's fine. You can leave a comment, hit the like button, go ahead and subscribe, check out our other videos. And as always, I will see you next time. Bye.